I pretty much had no choice but to get into, well, it was going to inevitably happen that I would get into metal music because I was raised in a music environment. My father was a violinist in the Colorado Symphony for about 35 years, as well as a violin maker, and my mother was a violinist and started me out as playing the violin ever since I was 5 years old. So I grew up in a classical atmosphere where I had no choice but to be around music all the time. I think I started playing the violin I'd say about 5 years old, and then close to about 15 I started getting into, pretty much started out with Sabbath. Was the first band that I was, that pretty much led me into metal, and got into punk pretty heavy. It was pretty much punk, thrash, and metal that I got into when I was about 15, 16 years old as well. Started playing the guitar and just always kind of went towards the darker, based on my upbringing and where I came from. It was pretty much inevitable that I would get into dark music and heavy music. Sabbath, and obviously turned into Metallica. Then, of course, I found death metal later on, and that pretty much was where I really started getting into metal. Of course, Death and Pestilence and all the, like, Obituary and Carcass, pretty early on. Like in high school, I'd say Testament, Deicide, of course, and all the. I instantly gravitated towards the really, really heavy stuff, because that's where I've always been into the extreme of all types of music. Well, there's quite a few stories that pop out. I mean, we were pretty young at the time, but the death metal scene was a lot crazier than it is nowadays. We got away with us and all of our friends got away with a lot more shit back in those days. Yeah, those days were pretty insane. The early '90s was a totally different scene. People just a lot more crazier and got away with a lot more shit than nowadays. The scene is chilled out quite a bit. It's not nearly what it used to be. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Jeff Kahn was probably one of the pinnacles of this scene here. He pretty much started a whole new, different style of death metal, which me and you latched onto right away. And he's never really got the credit for what he did.